Out with the old, in with the new. It's finally time for a brand new year. What's going on, Guardians? My name is TheBlackLink, and 2020 is finally done. Happy New Year, everybody! It's 2021 now. Let's hope that this one goes a little bit better than the previous year. So yeah, wishing you all a Happy New Year, hoping you stayed safe and had fun as the clock struck 12. And here's pushing for a great new year of content here on YouTube. First video in quite some time, by the way. It's been a rather busy holiday season. You know, Christmas is always crazy for me. But I'm excited because I'm back. I've got time to make videos now. And we just so happen to have finally completed the community quest for the Dawning in Destiny 2. This was the quest that launched alongside the holiday event with Ava Levante that basically tasked you with going around and delivering cookies to build up dawning cheer, and then us as a community of Destiny 2 players, were supposed to build up like several million dawning cheer in order to complete this quest. Well, Bungie had to dial back some of those requirements just a little bit in order to ensure that we actually completed this thing, but we finally got it done. And so I hopped up on Destiny 2, revved up my reindeer sleigh, and was ready to log on and get my rewards. But alas, of course, I still had to bake at least 2 cookies to finish my part of the quest. Not a problem, right? We gotta get into Ikora's Traveler donut holes, giggity, and that requires Cabal oil. Well, that shouldn't take too long to get, right? Well, if that's what you think, you might have been incorrect on that. So I log in, I go, and it's like, okay, I gotta make this cookie for Ikora. It's one of the ingredients I don't have. I ran out of Cabal oil a week or so ago. So I think, I'll just go farm some Cabal real quick. It took me 24 minutes of farming Cabal to get 1 Cabal oil drop. And this is actually kind of perfect. I want to take this time in this video to really kind of critique the Dawning and talk about this community quest in particular. And this is actually one of my least favorite things about the Dawning, and it's one of the most curious things about this particular event. Overall, the event's been pretty fun to play. It's got okay rewards, I guess, but something that really confuses me is the seeming rarity of some of these ingredients. 24 minutes of farming Cabal in order to get 1 measly drop of 1 ingredient for 1 cookie. That's mind-boggling to me. It shouldn't be happening. Like, for real, I ran around and did public events, I did patrol missions, I was just going around in circles and farming Cabal. Eventually, I went into one of the lost sectors in the areas in the EDZ with a ton of Cabal, and by the end of that lost sector, I got after 24 minutes, 1 Cabal oil. Bungie, I love you, but this definitely ain't it when it comes to an event like this, where your entire goal is to farm up tons of materials to make other items. These drops should have been far more frequent, because it's not just Cabal oil that does this to you. Whatever their current running algorithm is for the drop rate of these materials, it needs to be upped by at least a factor of 4. I'm talking about you should be getting these drops basically every other kill. This entire thing was about building up as many materials as possible, baking as many cookies as possible, and delivering as many treats as possible. And when I have to play for almost 25 minutes, when I have to play for more than a third of an hour to get a single ingredient, that's not fun, it's not rewarding. It's just frustrating. Let's talk about rewards there, because of course I did finally get my Cabal oil, went ahead and made that Traveler donut hole, gave it to Ikora Ray. Nice to actually talk to her for once in this season. Bungie, please do something with my girl. After that, of course, you just have to make a cookie for Saint 14, which I had plenty of materials for, thanks to the Shattered Throne farm. You know, if you just go into the section with the Infinite Shadow Thrall, you can farm up a lot of materials there. And yeah, I definitely took advantage of that. But after I got my cookie to Saint 14, I strolled on back to Ava Levante, proud of myself for actually contributing to this community quest, and went ahead and turned in for my rewards, and got, well, not great stuff. I got a mostly useless but pretty exotic helmet. And that is actually kind of the most perfect way I can think of to describe the Dawning. The event itself is pretty, but mostly useless. Now, of course, there are some pretty good things that you can get alongside the Dawning this year. The return of the previous Dawning weapons like the Cold Front submachine gun, that's pretty good. It's got a weird dragonfly roll on it for a primary weapon that's pretty interesting to get. Of course, the Glacier Chasm is an interesting fusion rifle. Would have been better if Bungie hadn't sacrificed being able to put a scope onto that thing. But ultimately, for somebody who already had previous rolls of some of these weapons and, got plenty of Glacia Chasms in the initial stages of this quest, there really wasn't much reason to run the Dawning this time around. And I think a lot of that has to do with the previous issue I talked about the scarcity of some of these materials. When I have to go to the Shattered Throne to do that farm to get at least a decent amount of materials so that I can go and make burnt edge transits to farm up Dawning Cheer, which is what I did to get this quest done, it doesn't really feel great. I think overall, Bungie, if they're going to be bringing the Dawning back in future years, I think that's fine. I think it's a great event. It's got good structure to it, but they really need to think about rewarding players for their time a bit better. And I believe that there are a few really good ways to do that. First and foremost, Essence of Dawning should be dropping from everything. If you're doing patrols, Essence of Dawning should drop. If you're doing public events, Essence of Dawning should drop. If you are doing strikes, Crucible, Gambit, raids, all of it, Essence of Dawning should drop. That should be dropping from basically anything, any basic activity you can complete while playing the game should be granting you a fair amount of Essence of Dawning. And of course, the harder that activity, the more Essence you should be getting. I think it was criminal that running a raid didn't get you like 1 to 200 Essence of Dawning. It's the same thing with sort of EXP in this game. You get criminally low amounts of EXP for completing raids. And there's no real rhyme or reason for why that's the case. And I think it's the same thing here with Essence of Dawning. You should reward players just for playing whatever content they want. If they just want to go run lost sectors like we did in years past, they should be getting Essence of Dawning for that. You do that, you make that change to make it so that you can play really whatever you want to farm up Essence. You bump up the amount of Essence you're getting for completing activities, and you bump up the amount of ingredients, or rather the ingredient drop rate that you're getting from defeating enemies and completing challenges, getting multi-kills and elemental kills and stuff like that. I think you do that, you make the Dawning a much more reliably fun experience for the player. We don't have to go and focus 3 hours in one activity to get enough taken butter to make a couple of treats for a quest. I get that the Dawning was supposed to be a 3-week event that kind of, keeps you playing over the course of 3 weeks. But what I found is a lot of people getting bored after the first week just because the drop rates were so low and the rewards that they were going for didn't really justify the amount of time players were putting in to get those rewards. So in essence, it's a good fun event, it's got a good fun loop, but Bungie needs to pay out a little bit more to help us get to that loot a little bit faster. Overall, I like the Dawning event. I like the change to, the environment. I like the change to the tower. It looks great. I think the loop here is good. You go out, it's supposed to be you complete activities wherever you want. You build up these materials and ingredients and whatnot. You go through these recipes, you bake cookies, and you get rewards for delivering those cookies. I think they've got a solid system here. They could probably update it next year and change it from cookies to like just general presents or toys or something that you deliver to people, and it would still work. But Bungie has to make it so that you're getting more for your time invested. You make some of the changes I talked about in this video, you add in more rewards like even more upgrade materials and stuff like that, and I think you'll have a fairly solid event moving forward. Either way, I put in my time in the Dawning and generally stopped playing it about a week or so ago, and again, only logged in today to get the ending community quest reward. And I imagine there's a lot of you out there who did the same. But those are my thoughts on the Dawning. Be sure to leave me yours down in the comment section below. How did you feel about the winter event this time around? What would you change? What would you like to see Bungie do? Looking forward to getting some of you Guardians' thoughts down in the comment section below. And again, Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2021. Thank you guys so much for sticking with the channel all these years. And I hope this channel can remain a place where you enjoy going and spending some time. But alright, that's it for this one, Guardians. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, I am TheBlackLink. You Guardians, stay frosty.